Hi, this is Mama Dr. T with today's, did I just say Mama Dr. T? Oh my goodness, my name keeps evolving. Mama Dr. Tochi, aka Dr. Tochi, Mama Dr. T, with today's class on cord cutting soul ties. Okay, I know this topic has been requested for a bit, but I kind of held off on it in order to do a little bit more research so that in the short amount of time we have for this class, I'd be able to hit the main points about this practice and the experience as well. We're going to learn about what soul ties are and what needs to be cut when we talk about cord cutting. So I do encourage you to go get that drink, get the snack, get that notebook, get the pen, and we're going to have ourselves some forbidden fruit that is sweet and juicy. Thank you for coming back. A little bit of housekeeping as usual. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for supporting this channel. If you are a member, a double thank you for financially supporting the content that I put out here for free. If you'd like to become a member, please click on the join button you see below this video. If you don't see that button, just realize it's not yet available in your country or region yet. It will come, it will come. All right, I do encourage you to subscribe and also to give me a thumbs up to encourage me to produce more content like this. If you need to get a hold of me for consultations, divination, spiritual practice coaching, I encourage you to go to my website. Look in the description box below or beside this video for the link to my website. I only do transactions through my website. If anyone is reaching out to you saying, to contact them through Facebook or WhatsApp, to send them money through Facebook or WhatsApp, just realize they're a scammer. And in our family here, we don't fall for scammers, right? Right. Now let's get into it. What are soul ties? If you recollect, we talked about soulmates and twin flames in a previous video class, and I encourage you, if you have not yet watched that video, to watch that video on twin flames and soulmates. Soul ties often occur between people who feel that the other party completes them. They have the sense of feeling complete and whole when they are together with the other person. Contrary to religious thinking, soul ties are not solely formed through intimacy. Okay, that idea of soul ties forming through intimacy came about from medieval thinking, medieval religious thinking in Europe, okay? Or should I say religious thinking in medieval Europe, okay? Because when we look at the research, we don't really see in other cultures where this is extensively discussed, that people have these soul ties that come from intimacy. So that is a religious twist on what's going on. What we understand from about soul ties is that they can be formed between romantic partners and non-romantic partners. You can even have soul ties between family members that are very, very close. They just understand each other. They excuse each other. They cover for each other. It's just, they have this bond that is so unexplainable. Now, why would somebody want to cut a soul tie if it's so satisfying? Well, just like a coin has two sides, soul ties can have two sides. It could be that both parties involved have a beautiful, wonderful, unique relationship that they wish to carry on from lifetime to lifetime. So they may have started it in a previous incarnation and are continuing it in this incarnation, or even wish to carry it to a future incarnation. But then again, there are some relationships like that turn sour, okay? One person starts feeling used and abused, misunderstood, and feels a void in life, like just feels there's no purpose in life when the other person is absent or when the other person rejects them. Okay, so in such circumstances, we want to start looking at cutting cords. And cutting cords really means cutting the soul ties or soul cords that connect both parties. Soul ties are formed on a deep spiritual level when the spirit of one is speaking to the spirit of the other. And like I said earlier, you want an ideal situation where both souls or both spirits are talking to each other, respecting each other, balancing, complementing each other, and evolving. Okay? One is helping the other to evolve, and the other one is helping the other to evolve. You don't want it to be a one-sided situation. You can have soul ties formed when a needy person or a person who believes in victimhood attaches themselves to a narcissist, and then the narcissist starts manipulating them. A soul tie can then form because, as far as the narcissist is concerned, this is an energy source that can be manipulated at any time and in any way. And the other party, who is the victim side of the whole thing, is they're getting, they crave the moments and the times that the narcissist pays them attention. And then they feel so lost and lonely and hurt, feel all kinds of negative emotions when the narcissist ignores them. Okay? So soul ties need to be cut when the relationship has become damaging, hurtful, negative. Okay, you can have situations where you can have soulmates, for instance, or people who are, soulmates, people who are highly compatible with each other and understand and complement each other. If one transitions to the other side and the other one is left here pining away, you might also want to consider a cord cutting, a soul cord cutting ritual for that, okay? Because you may have family members who are with the one who is left here suffering and depressed and despair, going, we just want this person to live their life. We want them to continue living. They can't just withdraw from life and withdraw from everything just because the other party has gone over to the other side. Okay, so there are really good reasons why you want to do some cord cutting. You also want to consider cord cutting if you just need to get away. Okay, you've tried different rituals and different exercises, and they don't seem to work to get you away from the person or separate you from the person. It's like you think of them and they call you or write you or text you, or you keep feeling the strong urge to call them or text them or reach out to them. It's just this constant, like almost like a compulsion to keep reaching out to this person that is not good for you. Then a cord cutting is in order. Okay, so how do we go about cord cutting? It's very simple. What you need to do is to get you some selenite. Okay, this is a crystal called selenite. Okay, It's water soluble. You don't want to be soaking this in water. You can order this from metaphysical stores, spiritual stores. You can get this from a Botanica, the big Botanicas. You can order this off of Amazon, Etsy. There's a whole bunch of places you can order selenite, okay? And I believe we've talked about this in some other videos. I believe in protection. Yes, you can look through our library of videos and where we talk about selenite. So there are, you can get like a piece like this, okay? I like using the bigger pieces, not like an itty bitty piece. You can get selenite rods. There are sometimes these selenites, you can purchase them as rods. You know, they're just a long rod. Some are little like that and some are long like that. You can also purchase selenite knives. So there are knives that are made out of this selenite crystal, okay? And those knives are beautiful. They're really, really nice. I think a couple of years ago when I was looking at one selenite knife, it was about $30 or $40, something like that. And if you are to have a selenite knife, that is one, it's great for its symbolism. You know, you're holding a knife and your subconscious realizes that yes, you're going to be doing some cord cutting. The other important thing you need to do and realize before you do this ritual and cord cutting is this. You have to decide to let this person go. I can't tell you how many times people are like, I've been cutting cords and the person is not leaving me alone. I've been cutting cords and they're still in touch. Have you left them alone? You need to leave that person alone. Leave them alone. So leaving them alone means you do all the physical things you can do to cut this person off. Delete their phone number, block their phone number, delete their emails. Don't go looking for them. Don't go entertaining them. If you have people, family and friends who come to you and they want to talk about the person or gossip about the person, tell stories, stop it right there. Don't even listen. Don't be like, well, I just wanted to hear what's going on. Once you open that door of curiosity, you are reestablishing these cords. And yes, you can reestablish cords if you're not careful. Okay, or if you've gone ahead and done the cord cutting and you haven't given it time, you can start regrowing them cords between yourself and the other party. So you want to make sure that you have done everything physically possible to cut cords. Now, I know someone's going to say, well, I have a baby daddy, or I have a baby mama, or I have a sibling, a relative, a parent. How do I cut cords with them? They're related to me. I still have to be in touch with them because of the children, or I have to be in touch with them because of property, because of finances. I'm going to be plain with you. You can't. You can't cut cords. You just have to look for some other means to establish boundaries between yourself and that person. Okay? So let's not pretend, let's not get into, oh, well, there's a baby daddy involved, there's a baby mama involved, but I'm going to cut cords. The only way you can cut cords with your baby daddy or your baby mama or a relative or somebody you have business with and that business is unfinished is if both parties agree. We will never, ever, as in ever, ever. We're not going to go to the same parties. We're not going to go to the same barbecues. We're not even going to cooperate on anything. One person has to leave the kids for the other person 100% and go away. As in, like, go away. And then this ritual will work. If you need to rewind the last 2-3 minutes of this video, please pause right here and rewind. Okay, so let's get into the ritual. So what I would recommend is you get your selenite stone or your selenite knife or your selenite rod, whatever it is. Make sure that you have it. You have taken the time to charge it under moonlight. You want to be doing this ritual during the waning of the moon, when the moon is getting smaller. That is any time after the full moon. So after the full moon till when it comes to the new moon, okay? If you want this to be very effective, consider doing this during the last quarter of the moon. So there's a full moon, the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter. I believe there's roughly 7 days in that last quarter before it becomes a new moon again. So you want to catch that period, that last quarter. You can use Google. Ask Google, what is the moon phase where I am? It's very simple. You can go type it in there, or you hit the microphone and ask, when is the last quarter of the moon? And it will tell you. Siri will tell you too, okay? I don't know if Alexa will tell you, but Siri and Google will tell you, okay? So make sure you've charged this in moonlight. You can charge it before the full moon. You can charge it during the full moon. It's just that the ritual, you want to do it when the moon is waning. Okay, charge it for 24 hours or 72 hours. The longer you charge it, the better. In moonlight, okay? If you don't have moonlight, pick a time when there's moonlight, okay? Now, because I know someone's going to say, well, there's no moon where I live. Do you live on Earth? Okay, so, all right. So we have this charge. So what we're going to do is we go into our sacred space or go to our altar, okay? If you don't have a sacred space or an altar, create a sacred space. You can take some white chalk, okay? And you can break off a piece of white chalk and inscribe a circle around where you intend to perform this ritual, okay? You can inscribe a small circle. It doesn't have to be your whole living room or your whole bedroom. Just maybe enough for you where you're sitting down. You could be sitting on the floor or sitting on a chair, and just a circle around there, okay? Someone's going to ask me, I have carpet, what should I do? This is non-toxic. You can put a circle on your carpet and make it visible so you know where the circle is, okay? Because you want to be doing this inside the circle. And after you're done doing it, you can vacuum up the circle from your rug or your carpet, okay? If you don't have the white chalk, okay, the efun or enzu, okay, in some places it's yellow chalk, all right? You can get cascarilla, okay, which is the powdered eggshells. These are sold in metaphysical stores, botanicas, very common. You can use this to do a circle around you. Make sure that the circle is visible, okay? You can see this, so that when you're doing what you're doing, you're not stepping outside the circle. If you don't have this, you can use white powder, okay? You know, the kind of powder you put on your body, you can use that. After you inscribe that, okay, around you, you can do that in front of your altar. Or if you have your altar at a sacred space, you don't need to do that. But if you don't have an altar, you don't have a sacred space, you can do this white chalk, okay? You can do a white chalk in front of your altar if you so want to do that. Just make sure that if you're doing the white circle, you're including your altar as much as you can. Then take your selenite in hand. Invite your spiritual crew. Invite your creator, your guardian spirit, your ancestors, your spirit guides, any spirit guides you're working with, any messengers you're working with, whatever it is that you believe in. Invite them to the ritual. And it doesn't have to be complicated. And you mention your name, desire at this moment to cut all cords connecting me with, and you mentioned the name of the other person. I ask all of you present to assist in this cord cutting so that I be set free, and that X, whoever that person X is also set free. I am setting them free to their greater good, just as I desire to be set free to my greater good. I wish them well. I wish them no evil. And I wish no evil upon myself, and I wish myself well. Then call upon the other party X. Okay. So let's say the person's name is Peter. Okay. I like the name Peter. Okay. And you say, Peter. Now remember that when you're calling Peter, you're calling the spirit of Peter. You're not yelling and screaming or putting the person on speakerphone for them to hear what you're doing. Because I know somebody's going to be like, should I put them on speakerphone so they can know that I'm doing this ritual on their head? No, you're not supposed to call them and put them on speakerphone so that they will know you're doing the ritual on their head. You can just call their spirit and say, I call on you, Peter, to be aware that I am cutting the cords that bind you and myself. Know that I wish you well. I wish you no harm. I wish you no evil. I send you forth in peace. Ashe, Ise, Amen, Kamagu, Thakoza, Lesedi, Aibobo, Nyanho, anything you use to end your invocations. You end your invocations and you cut. Now, I usually recommend cutting 7 times. And as you cut, you say, I cut you free, and I cut myself free. I cut you free, and I cut myself free. I cut you free. I cut myself free. You want to do that 7 times. And once you're done, Ashe, Ise, whatever, however you end your invocations, you're done. Leave that place and go do something else. Don't stay there and start checking your phone. I just want to see if they texted me and if Peter realizes I cut him off. No. Once you're done with the ritual, go do something else immediately. So if it's going to work, going to sleep, going to watch TV, don't sit there and start ruminating over it. Get up, go do something else. If you need to repeat this ritual because you feel that somehow it wasn't done or something went on, you can do it again. And do it as many times as you need to do it in order to cut yourself free. If you've done it correctly and powerfully and with intention, once should be sufficient. But there's sometimes we're in an emotional state of mind and it doesn't quite work out like that. And so we have to do it more than once. Do it until you feel free. I hope you enjoyed this class on cord cutting. Let me know in the comment section what you think about the explanation, the class, and the ritual. As usual, our invocation. We're thankful to our Creator, our guardian spirit, our ancestors, our spirit guides, and all those in the unseen realms who teach us how to set ourselves free from all kinds of cords that no longer serve us. Ashe.